All right, what's up? What's up? What's up? I want to make sure that you all can hear me. All right, shout out. Make sure y'all like this video. We're going to be talking about Jennifer Hughes. I hope I said her name right. The victim of Kenneth Petty. I want to say alleged victim or alleged accuser of Kenneth Petty. Okay, I definitely want to say this. I want to give a special shout out to people. I'm already being threatened by some barbs. Before the video even come out, and I'm like, whoa, like, you better be careful. She got her lawyers and you can be sued. I'm like, what they gonna take? What they gonna take? My green screen, my computer that was donated, my lights, the car that I paid off that got over $100 and some thousand miles, my little flat screen TV that's on a Walmart table. What they gonna come and get? My bookcase, my crutches. Like, I just like, wow, like, let me do the video before you come out here saying how I'm gonna get sued and I need to watch my back. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, okay. But anywho, this long-awaited interview that was aired on the Real. And before I get into interview, this is why it's so important to put some respect on YouTubers' name. The Real was a show that degraded and dogged out YouTubers. So they did a segment on The Real today about tap out or tap in. I think it was tap out. And they kept saying how difficult it was to tape at home, not having a good Wi-Fi, having all them different cords. I hope that they have more respect on YouTubers. And this is where I'm going to start, dealing with different YouTubers and tell us we need to work together for mainstream media to put respect on YouTubers. We have to do a better job collectively for mainstream media, the Shade Room media, Ball Alert media, the Neighborhood Talk media, all the blogs that are out there, It's So Bold media, to put respect on YouTubers' name. It was a failure in this interview before I dive into the details. A major failure that it was some YouTubers that covered this story. And marketing and branding means a lot too, but we'll get into that. It was a lot of YouTubers that covered this story, and none of their airing of their interviews or no credit, nothing at all. This was not an exclusive. Okay, they gotten this from YouTubers. Okay, and they got this information from YouTube. Some producer that's sitting in the bushes that all their job is to watch content creators, and they come and suck and steal from us, and they go and put it on TV, and what they will say, it's an exclusive. That's not an exclusive. Everybody that I talk to, everybody that I follow on YouTube have been following this Jennifer Hughes story since the beginning, since she came on YouTube and did a press tour, right? So I feel like it was a failure on Fox. It was a failure on The Real. It was a failure of all those entities for not putting credit on the YouTuber's name. Then The Real got some backlash, a little backstory before we get into these details. They decided to post part 1 and they decided to post part 2 on YouTube. So I decided to go in the comments and I'm like, dear The Real, why are y'all stealing from us YouTubers? Us YouTubers made this story hot and you all not giving us credit. Anybody know about YouTube, you can see people comments and everything like that. So a couple of minutes after that, they took the video and they private the video. So they're trying their best to suppress the media. It was a tweet, and I'm going to get into this interview. It was a tweet that I want to read. Armand wrote that. It was a tweet that he wrote, and I want to read it. Give me a second, you guys, because it was so true. It was so true. I read this tweet this morning, and I want to reread it again because he said something that I think is very important, and I think I need to talk about it. Okay, he wrote a tweet. No shade. It was YouTubers who broke the story about Kenneth Petty and Nicki Minaj. However, people don't like to give YouTubers credit for being power players in media. We are the new generation of media. Stop playing. And we've been the new generation of media ever since YouTube came on the field. Ever since YouTube came and became popular, YouTubers have been that voice. YouTubers, and that's what we have to give more credit. And we all are competitors, and we do different styles, and we do different styles of commentary. But when right is right, right is right. This story has been talked about, and it's another thing that's been going on. And maybe I need to do a show on this about the YouTubers that have flip-flopped on Nicki and became Nicki Minaj fans. They were critics. So anytime a YouTuber or anybody or viewer come at me and say, Wiley, you flip-flop, it is a list I know personally of YouTubers that were teamed against Nicki's decision of marrying that R word. But they saw the power of Nicki and the power of her barbs, or how they support, they became silent of standing up for a victim. Now people are trying to deflect, acting like it don't exist. You're living under a rock. This is the hottest story in media right now, right? And now these YouTubers that love Nicki is muzzled because they cannot come out and speak the truth because they will get unfollowed. They won't get that interview. They won't get an exclusive viewing of the documentary. But what it is, it's a disservice, I think, to your viewers. I personally have heard recordings of some YouTubers that were defending Nicki. Were calling Nicki Minaj out. They were calling her husband out. They were calling her out, all type of stuff. Fast forward, they saw the power, the support of Nicki Minaj fans, and they saw the power, support of her. They immediately change up and say, oh, Nicki Minaj great. Oh, it wasn't that bad. They were in a relationship. Blah, blah, blah. They really change. And it's multiple people. So when people come in my chat and they say, Wiley, you have flip-flopped, I want to clap back. And if you push me and if you donate enough, I'm going to say that the YouTubers that have flip-flop, and it's some big and some are small. So don't come in here and put it in with your little fingers and say, with your greasy fingers, and say, I have flip-flop. When I heard this morning from YouTubers, I said, oh. So don't dare put that out in the atmosphere. And some of these YouTubers are going to downplay this. And particularly, it will be women that I thought women supposed to stand with women. But anyhow, we're going to get into details of this, but I just had to come out and give that introduction. I had to come out and give the introduction. I think it's a problem you as a woman, and your sister crying and she was violated, you should at least give her the courtesy to listen. It shouldn't be about a follow or anything. Because let's be clear. Nicki Minaj don't give a damn about these YouTubers that kiss her butt. When the last time you see Nicki Minaj do an exclusive interview on a YouTuber's channel? When the last time you seen Nicki Minaj come on YouTube, sit on your couch, sit on your chair, and do an exclusive interview telling you about her story, telling you about this documentary, telling her about having a baby, telling her being married? When the last time you have seen her done that? I wait. I'm going to sit here. Please tell me the last time you seen Nicki come down out of her kingdom. Come on your YouTube channel, get her makeup done, her hair done, and come on your channel and do an interview. She have never did it, and I think she never will do it. But she will dangle I would say a unicorn dripped in caramel chocolate. Well, one day you may get this, one day. But don't criticize me, because one day you may get it. So I'm gonna dip this unicorn and some chocolate sprinkled with some hazelnut, and one day you may get, or one day I may come on your show. So continue to defend me. Continue to put it out there. Continue to sing my praises. Even if I do wrong, do not call me out, because one day I may come on your channel. But when will that one day come? If you are a YouTuber and you come out and you criticize Jennifer today and you criticize her, I'm going to come out and look at you and say, when Nicki come on your channel? And they know this, that it was wrong, because some of them publicly have already came out and they said, oh, Jennifer is in it. Jennifer is the victim. They shouldn't have done this, etc., etc., etc. But let's not be playing game, recognized game. Most people, they will defend Nicki Minaj because they want an interview with Nicki. They want a partnership with Nicki. They want money from Nicki. They want and some just want the praise of, she follow me on Twitter. She follow me on Instagram. I love her. Oh, I have to defend. Some people is impressed by that. I get followed by some celebrities. That don't impress me. Until you come and sit in my apartment, we do an interview or we do a StreamYard, then I can really feel the love. But if you are a fan of me and I'm out here singing your praises, put it out there, you should be the first place you should go for an exclusive is to come on my YouTube channel, because I'm falling on a sword for you. But you will not see that. You will not see that, because she already know that you're a flip-flopper, but she will manipulate you to believe that she will come on your channel one day. We as YouTubers have to understand our power and do not get manipulated by these celebrities. Because if they really care about you, they see you sweating, beaming in sweat, come on the channel and do an interview. One thing I can say about Cardi, and we're going to get into this interview, but I have to get this out, that she did do an interview on the YouTuber's channel. She did share, YouTuber's content. She did even share a YouTuber's business. They increased in sales. So that's one thing I can say about Cardi. Can she do better going on YouTube channels and inviting them to her birthday party and stuff? She can do a better job, because you see a lot of people, they will defend her all day, every day. But would you see Cardi on their platform when she got a new project coming out? Let's just see. I guarantee you she's going to be going to the white publications before she come on these black platforms. But before the white publication utter a word, it is black content creators that are keeping these celebrities relevant. So back to this interview today. I'm telling about, make sure you like the video. Make sure you like the video, because we have to speak on this. Okay. So in this interview, I did cry. I teared up because I never seen her face. Now, because the last time she did it, her smoke detector was going off. She was doing different platforms. So this, I was able to see her demeanor, her face, her attitude. I was able to see all these things. She was describing that she was on her way to school and she saw Kenneth Petty. And she said, hello, hey. They were talking, and then he grabbed her jacket and then got her in front of a house, and he reached and pushed the door open and walked her up the stairs. And she felt, they was like, oh, do you want to chill? What's going on? She was confused. So he wrestled her, took her clothes off, and she was holding on to her pants. He squeezed her stomach, and it was, it was a battle. Then she said, and which I thought was really sick, is when he stood up after he got through and abused this woman, stood up in the mirror. This is Kenneth Petty, Nicki Minaj's husband, stood in the mirror and beat his chest and said, I'm the man. And then it was like some toilet paper, and then she was like, she wanted to light it on fire, really got help. And she said, when it's fast forward, is that she ran to school, and they was like, why are you late? So they called the police, and the family, which they brought up in the interview, they said, well, Kenneth Petty family said that you all were in a relationship, that you all were in this relationship. Were you in a relationship? That was one of the rumors that was put out. She was like, no, we were not in a relationship. We were not in the sexual relationship at all. We were not in a relationship. So they said, well, it was somewhere that you recanted your story. So she was explaining, mind you, this is a 16-year-old girl. This is a minor. Her family were pressuring her. Jennifer Hughes' family was pressuring her to change her story because Kenneth people were threatening the family. So Jennifer family were pressuring her to change the story. So they had her to go and hide in the courthouse. According to Jennifer, the DA seen her, and then she stood up in court and say, "I want to change. I want to drop the charges." And the judge said, "You got to work with the DA." And what? Long story short, that he pleaded guilty, I believe, to second degree R word. I'm going to say R word. You don't want to get thrown out of the algorithm. I'm going to say R word. Because he was originally charged with first degree R word, but I think he pleaded to second degree. It was really sad because the family to me is a disservice, but I can understand why the family wanted her to change her story, because if you're getting threats, you're in the hood, you're getting threats, you just want peace. So I can understand. As of right now, I don't agree with that, but I can understand, because if you're in the hood and you're getting all these threats and you're getting people goons and all that, you get scared. That's why a lot of people, do not cooperate with the police, because they don't want their neighbors or the people to come after them or to threaten them. That's one of the leading forces that make a lot of people don't want to cooperate with the police, because they don't want to be threatened. They want to live. They don't, So I can understand that. But they talked about justice and all of this, but it was a key point that I wanted to do when I want to talk about is like, what was your thoughts when Kenneth married Nicki? Her words, Jennifer words, was, "I did not want to be found out. I didn't want nobody to know. I wanted to keep it private, on the down, on the hush hush." Then they showed like the message when Nicki said, "Oh, he was 15 and she was 16. They were in a relationship." No, and Jennifer corrected in an interview that they were both 16. And then she believed that he didn't take this serious by not registering. So it just reopened the pain. This crime took place in 1994. I was 4 years old when it took place. And this is where it gets sticky inserting with Nicki, because they're suing her for harassment. One of the associates came to Jennifer Hughes, the associate, to change her story. It was getting so bad that one of the associates actually texted her Nicki Minaj's number. Nicki called her, wanted to fly the family out. And she said no. It was another piece where one of the associates put $20,000 on the lap of Jennifer Hughes, said, "Take the money." She refused. And then one of the so got so upset, said, "This is the $20,000 we're going to put on your head." So she were getting threatened and getting pressure. And this is where I personally believe, in my humble opinion, her associates calling family members, they approached her daughter. Mind you, her daughter wasn't even born when this happened. In March 2020, she spoke to Nicki, and Nicki said, "Oh, I heard that you wanted to help." And then she offered to fly her to California, and Jennifer refused. So all this stuff, they're refusing. That Jennifer is refusing this help. She's refusing the money. She don't want nothing to deal with Kenneth Petty and Nicki Minaj. The sad part about this, multiple thing, is that you have already been R-word back in 1994. You're trying to move on with your life. It reopened because you married Nicki. Okay? Kenneth Petty married a celebrity. And not only that, the celebrity Nicki inserted herself by saying they were in a relationship. He was 15, 16. So she's repeating a lie that have been told and repeating it to millions of people. So now it's become fresh. So all of the wounds you're trying to heal just bust wide open. All of this is going on. And this is where I think it's very strategic on Mr. Blackburn, the attorney, because they have a lawsuit for harassment. So it's very strategic to go public to show the public this harassment. People need to understand in civil and criminal is two different entities. The burden of proof is different in civil than in criminal. If this goes to trial, you don't need all 12 jurors to agree. You need the majority of the juries to agree. So it's different. This is civil. So it's a very strategic move on Mr. Blackburn. And I do believe he was probably one of the ones that said, hey, we need to go public. This is one of the strategies that I think can help us win this case. So I think it's very strategic of Mr. Blackburn, the attorney, to go with Jennifer with the interview. So I think that was very strategic because now the conversation is out there for the people that did not know. They're talking about it. This is the first time I've seen Jennifer name, I believe, trend on Twitter. I've never seen her name trending on Twitter. So she's trending right now. So I think that was very strategic. I can tell that the big host, what's her name? I don't want to call her the big host. The plus size host. She didn't really ask a lot of questions. Anyhow, I could really tell like they were treading very carefully with the interview, but they had to do this interview. Some of the women, I could just tell by their tone, they ain't want to do it. I could just tell by their energy, they ain't want to do it. But they have a job to do. They got producers to say, hey, we're going to do this, so you have to do your job. But I can really tell that I could tell by their tone that they just really did not want to do that interview. But it's a job. It's ratings. You got to do it, right? You work for somebody else. Somebody else signed those checks. I would say this. Lonnie Love. I believe Lonnie did not want to do that interview. I really think she's a barb. She's a barb. I think that she did not want to do that interview. I felt her energy. I felt it through the television. I said, Lonnie don't want to do that interview, but Lonnie ain't got no power. See, when you own and control the show, you can interview, you got to work for somebody else. That's usually that's going to tell you who to interview. So where I think Nicki went wrong is inserting herself. If you marry this man, let it be. Let him register and let's move on. Nicki should have never opened her mouth because her mouth is powerful. Nicki I'm defending my man, but you have millions of people and you have a woman that has been victimized by your husband. This is not allegedly. He actually been convicted of this. Okay? He's been convicted. So when you opening up those wounds, it's not making you look good. So what Nicki should have did, she should have stayed silent and just went on her merry-go life. But she tried to change the public perception of her criminal husband, and it's backfiring on her. She should have been silent. Nicki Minaj got too much money to make that foolish mistake. She should have consulted with her lawyers and her publicists and say, hey, can I comment on this? And a good publicist that get paid good money would tell her, don't say a word. Let it be. Whatever them barbs saying, whatever the trolls saying, let them say, this will move on. But if you say something, this will open up a door for some legal. This will open up the door for some commentary. This is just going to open up the door for some dialogue that you just don't need. But no, Nicki love her husband. She ghetto. She love it. This thug love, this thug passion. I'm in love. Forget that I'm a millionaire. Forget that I got a lot of people. I'm going to talk because I'm going to take up for my man. She repeated some gossip that wasn't true, and now she's facing a lawsuit. This is embarrassing for Nicki Minaj. This is one of the worst days to say you are a fan of Nicki Minaj, because when you're saying that, you're a fan of a woman that wanted another woman that was victimized by a man, Kenneth Petty, to change her story. That's who you support. This is why you're not going to see her on press conferences. She ain't going to come on a press conference and go to all these events because a reporter, a good messy reporter like Wiley, if I'm on the red carpet, I'm going to be right there. Excuse me, Nicki Minaj. I'm here from the Wiley Show. I want to ask you a question. Why did you pressure Jennifer Hughes to change her story? We're hearing rumors that you offered her money to change her stories. How do you feel that your husband pleaded guilty for not registering? What do you have to say to all the women that has been victimized? Do you think that it was a correct move for your husband not to register? Nicki, she don't want them type of questions. Because a good reporter that's about that life, that want to get some ratings, that want to make a name for themselves, will ask them questions, and she ain't gonna take that risk because she got that set. But she should have had that same mindset of not addressing the trolls at all. She should have had that same mindset of not addressing. This is why she went on this whole tangent about the vaccine. You don't get the vaccine. All this Tamiana, all this stuff. She tried to distract because she knew that Jennifer was going to do an interview with The Real. She knew this. She's powerful. So she got people that say, hey, she gonna do an interview. Can we get a statement? She knew all this stuff. So that's why, I ain't gonna get it. I ain't gonna show up it. She tried to distract. So The Real was very strategic. I guarantee you they were strategic and said, we gonna hold this interview right now and then we're gonna drop it right now. They were very strategic on when they dropped it. I don't know. I haven't seen no emails, but in my spirit, they told her, we're gonna drop the interview on this day, and Nicki must have had that information. I'm a distract. They dropped that interview, and it was the very perfect time because it's so convenient. Why was Nicki so out? She never been about public opinion about public policy. You never saw her talking about stuff like that. She was not interested in nothing like that. So it was very weird to see her take this public approach talking about people that's on MSNBC. You never seen Nicki Minaj insert herself in that type of behavior. But she tried to distract us from Jennifer Hughes. She tried to distract us, but it did not work. It did not work. For all these people from Time's Up, Me Too, all these organizations need to look at Nicki and give her the ultimate side eye. Because what she tried to do, she tried to re-victimize Jennifer Hughes. When you want somebody to lie and take some money and recant their story, you re-victimize her. And so that's what she tried to do. And so now you see these YouTubers, they going around, they scrambling. They don't know what to say. They trying to act like it don't exist. Y'all, they trying to act like it don't exist. Oh, they trying to act like it don't exist. Some gonna come and say, oh, she's a liar. She changed her story. Oh, she's not credible. All this type of stuff. But they will fail to mention the lawsuit. They will fail to mention that they were served. They will fail to even mention that. They will try to distract and say and try to discredit, Jennifer Hughes. Because most of them already know Kenneth Petty ain't ish and Nicki Minaj ain't ish, but they want that Nicki Minaj follow. They want that Nicki Minaj money. They want that Nicki Minaj interview. But you would never get a Nicki Minaj interview. That interview you think you're going to get, you ain't going to never get it. If you were a YouTuber and you criticize Nicki and you try to change up, she ain't coming on your show. That ain't going to happen. Just not going to happen. It's not too many mainstream artists I see do interviews with YouTubers. Because most of them have white publicists and they don't check for YouTubers. They just really don't. Unless you really, really, really in the industry and you talk about music, you don't really do no commentary. They dumb white publicists that represent these artists don't want them going on no YouTube channel. Because we're not corporate. We ain't got to worry about sponsors. We just want to get to the teeth. That's one of the things why you ain't going to see a lot of them come. But a lot of these celebrities will try to rub elbows with a lot of these YouTubers. They will rub elbows with them and make them think like, I may come on your show. Keep on defending me. I may come on there one day. That day will never probably come. You have to be committed to your audience that watch you every day. And your audience will know if you BSing. They know if they're people that really love you and really mess with you, they're going to know if you BSing. Like today, I saw a lot of bull of a lot of YouTubers that try to act like this don't exist. Like, come on now. Let's not. Because if the roles were reversed and this was about Cardi B, all of these YouTubers would be on jumping on this. If this was about Cardi B and Offset, and then Cardi tried to pressure Offset, accuse her to change her story, them YouTubers streaming from the mountaintop how Cardi B is so problematic. I can just imagine the videos. But it's Nicki, so a lot of them is not going to come out and say nothing towards her. Let me drink some water. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you like the video. I had no choice but to give you all the real deal because I felt it in my spirit. I just felt it. I said, I really got to be this story, because when I cry, I said, I have to come out. I did. I teared up because it touched me in a way, because I'm like, wow, because she was re-victimized. Because this didn't have to be. We would have never known who a Jennifer Hughes was if Nicki would have just stayed silent. No one would have known. She inserted herself in all of that. And then her parading around Kenneth was a mistake. She could have kept that on the low. We didn't have to know that. Nicki tried her. She wanted this Beyonce and Jay-Z power couple, and you got a whole convicted R-word thug murderer. You got all this stuff. You paraded him around that. That was a mistake. And I guarantee you, people that really love you, they probably said, if you really ask them the truth, they didn't want that. But Nicki signed a check, so Nicki have the final say so. And these are the repercussions. Remy Ma, if you smart, you will be doing some music. This is the time. Because the queen right now, she's a little tarnished. This ain't no time to be quiet. This is a time to come with some records, because I'm hungry to see other female MCs, what they're gonna be doing right now, what they're gonna be doing, what they're gonna be saying. I'm just watching. I got my eyes open because I'm watching. I'm watching everybody. I'm watching everybody. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to open up the phone lines and all of that. I'm gonna open up the phone lines for you all to definitely call in, because I know y'all got a lot to say. And we're going to try to get to it. Only thing we ask you to say R word. Don't say the real word. Just say R word. Say SO, because he ain't registered to be on the SO. You know, little keywords, we want to do it. Don't come using profanity, because I have not used one profanity. Okay. Not one curse word I have used. So we try to keep that same energy. Try to keep that same energy not to cuss. All right. Well, let's keep the energy of the show. All right. I'm just saying, just keep the energy of the show where we're at right now. Okay. I don't mind if you name dropped, because that don't bother me if you name dropped another content creator. Because if you want to get out your point, you're going to get out your point, because I want to know who you're talking about. Because sometimes it's so many content creators out here. If you want to name drop somebody to help your argument, you can. I know some channels don't allow you to do that, but over here, you free. You can do that. All right. Only thing we say, no profanity. All right. Give me a second. I'm going to open up these lines. Okay. I could have opened up earlier, but I wanted to be a 2 hours. So just in case we get a lot of phone calls. All right. Yes. Thank you. I'm seeing it right here. Thank you so very much. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Okay. Remy Ma, you smart. You definitely should do some commentary. You should be rapping, not taking up for Fat Joe. If you're smart, this is your moment. I will come out with a part 2 diss record, man, but you probably not going to do it. But if I were you, I would do it.
Your show now, press 1.
Your show is scheduled to start in 30 seconds.
This your moment. Okay, give me a second. 30 seconds. Let me put the number in the chat. This the moment I come up with some record. Look, Kim, where you at? This the moment. But Lil Kim probably not going to do it, because she probably made up with Nicki.
We are sorry, but we're experiencing a problem with our system. Please try your call again later.
Oh,
or
God.
report a problem through the Blog Talk Radio
Oh,
webpage.
come on now. Now y'all want to have that? Let me find out the Barbs is messing with Blog Talk Radio servers. Or we'll do that on this show. So give me a second. I may have to do it with my Google number. I'm sorry, y'all. It's not me. And we pay for this service. Hold on.
Your show now, press 1 to hear.
All right.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
Okay. Is it working?
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Blog Talk Radio.
There you go. All right. 646-716-8447. Like the video right now. We ain't gonna open these phone like Like the video right now. Hold up. We got 370 some odd people here. Y'all need to click that like button and follow me on Twitter. I told you, I don't care if you at work. I don't care if you on the toilet. Follow me on Twitter right now at the Wiley Show and tweet me wherever you at. I don't care if you in a motel, hotel with your side piece. Get off of there, and you and your side piece hit that link and hit that like button and follow me on Twitter. I'm not playing. I don't care if you're in a conference meeting right now on a lunch break eating some Doritos and a ham sandwich. Put that sandwich down and follow me on Twitter. Okay? All right. All right, we had 100 likes. Thank you. Okay, let's go to phone lines. 8212, you live on air.
Yes, hey Wiley, how
Hey,
you doing? I was
doing
calling because I was watching all these vlogs today, and I was literally trying to figure out like how in the world did they literally is mad because the girl came out and got onto a bigger platform than they so-called YouTube because they felt like YouTube was not going to bring her platform no further than what it was. So now I feel like the way that they are talking about the situation, they putting it in categories like, oh, basically she is wrong for speaking out, when in reality she's been speaking out for about a couple years now.
Yeah.
But they never wanted to shed light to it. And then the way that the Shade Room put it up, the Neighborhood Talk put it up, they put it up as of, oh, she basically just trying to get a couple dollars. Surviving Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty, oh no, we is on Nicki's side type of thing. They comments is crazy. I'm just like, how and why? Like, they literally down to somebody else, but then they're going to pick somebody else back up. Why? Because this is about Nicki. And this is how you can tell that a lot
you can't hear the callers? Oh, she's down low. Make sure you speak up. They said they can't hear you. Hold on 1 second. All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. But this is literally how you can tell that they are a bunch of Nicki supporters. I was watching My Radio today.
Okay.
My Radio literally was listening to the show as the show was going on. She basically hung up on the first show that she did after the situation was done. But then when she got back on there, she literally was down in the whole situation. It's like, how could you down the situation when in reality this girl been speaking out for the longest, but y'all was trying to just throw it under the bus.
Okay, and I want to say
basically was. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
No, but I'm just saying, like, basically, she wasn't even with the callers that was calling in that was basically not pro-Nicki. They was just basically trying to say the truth about the situation. But she was with the callers that was calling in that was basically trying to down the situation, trying to pinpoint certain situations. And my thing is, y'all should have been pinpointing certain situations when you first
Okay,
came
give me
out.
1 second. I think I got to do it on the speaker because somehow they said they can't hear. Hold on. All right, give me a second. So I want you to repeat what you said because I want to repeat what you just said. You said that Nicki, but you said that the Shade Room, and you were talking about Mob Radio.
Right, the Shade Room and My Radio, they posted basically was just the same to me. And my thing is, when My Radio was reporting on the situation, she literally was not reporting on the situation as of she trying to hear out the victim side of the story. She was reporting on the situation as of this still a dumber and it's just going to be thrown under the bus type of thing. This is just a Nicki hate train. No, Nicki came out with the situation about the vaccine due to the fact that she knew that this situation was coming out. I'm quite sure one of them people on The Real is real cool with Nicki, and I'm quite sure they called her and asked her and told her about the story, and the story was going to come out. So I'm quite sure that is exactly the reason why.
You knew? I think Lonnie Love probably one of them hoes told Nicki. Best believe.
Yeah. That's basically what I was saying. Like, you can tell that they did because you could tell by the way their reactions was of the story,
right,
and everything. Like, you can
because they probably was like, girl, the producers want us to cover this, and we got to do it, and I'm just letting you give you a heads up.
Just coming back out, and they was trying to get their views up, so they basically was looking at it like, oh well.
Facts.
Yep.
And I want to say this though, with the Millies and what she didn't always feel that way. She was against it.
Oh, no. I've seen a lot of videos of her being, like, I watched Millie for a long time, but then once I realized that she was just a Nicki fan, but not reporting the real of everything, that's when I had to be like, I can't watch her too much.
Because with this case, this really look at you as a woman. Why? And that's one point that Jennifer Hughes brought up. As a woman, why would Nicki come out and do all of this?
Anything. She should have kept the stuff to herself.
Right. So this is something that's making it just all trash because Nicki should have never did this to another woman. And these female bloggers, how would you feel if someone tried to pressure you to change your story if you were abused? You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Right.
but
And with one of the comments saying, "What's my point?" What's my point is, like I said, the Nicki fans is still acting in the situation because now it's higher than what it was before, and they still just basically trying to throw it under the bus. In reality, no, report about it just like y'all would report about Cardi B and all about her court cases and all about the stuff that she be doing and all about the drug use and all that stuff she be doing like that. Like, that's my point, period.
facts.
Thank you. That's all I wanted, Wiley. I appreciate it. I like the show.
All right, thank you so very much. No, I said host. I didn't say hoes. I said host. Got to do a better job reporting on this. I know I'm just saying it crystal clear. The hosts have to do a better job hosting this and really bringing out the truth in this regard. But unfortunately, a lot of them are been bought and paid for by follow and just by support, and they don't want to lose that support by the Barbs because the Barbs are one of the fan bases that are very active on social media, and they're very supportive. They're more supportive than Barty Gang, so they don't want to lose that interaction, and they damn sure don't want to be in Nicki Minaj bad place because she's still very much powerful in this platform and this business. So I understand it and I get it. Game recognized game. But again, this is why it's so good to have your own platform to speak truth to power. All right, let's go to the other calls. I'm sorry, y'all, for not y'all hearing the callers. I don't know this new system. I got to work out to make the callers more clear. Hopefully, y'all can hear them. 4635, you live on the air.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
I just wanted to say this one thing. Papa Bear better cover his ears because Mom and Daddy going to be arguing tonight.
Yeah. It's a major argument that she's going to have with her publicist. They're going to have a meeting. She need a crisis manager. But, of course, right now, what Nicki did just need to be silent and let it pass because it's out now. Ain't nothing she could do. She can't be posting no pictures.
No. I'm saying she going to be arguing with Kenny tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean,
yeah.
Women, you know what I mean? Like, women can hear something about their man while they're with their man, and they can try to act like they want to blow it off. But when it, like, when it gets public attention and everybody's talking about it, she going to have an attitude, straight attitude in the house. She ain't going to want to really talk to him. She ain't going to, you know what I'm saying? And it's going to cause some tension.
Because
it's going to cause some tension.
It's going to affect her career because people are going to be looking at her, and there's no telling if this continue to pick up legs, it could be very bad for Nicki's career. And she, but
I agree.
But as a woman, she got to look at herself, look in that mirror. You made these decisions because you knew what you were getting into. And you inserted yourself because you wanted the narrative to change. Like, you're not innocent. It's not all on Kenneth Petty. When Nicki Minaj asserted herself with her power, you made it newsworthy. Because if this was just Kenneth Petty, just being Kenneth Petty, this would not be on the news. This would not be on The Real. It became The Real because Nicki Minaj is attached to this. Because she inserted herself allegedly in all of this.
So now all we got to do is sit back and see what she's going to say, if she's going to say anything.
If she's going to say anything.
But at this point, I mean, she already done spoke about it, so she might as well continue now. There's no need to sit back and get quiet now.
She did all that talking about the vaccine, but now she said, I'm going to leave Twitter. She set it up really strategic. But I could see through all that. Now when this interview came out, that's why you're not going to use Twitter. That's why you're not going to go on The Room. That's why you're not going to go on your Instagram because you got all this. And that's why she got her comments where if you comment, you can't even comment. The public can't unless she follow you.
You can't comment.
Unless she follow you. So so when you see a person doing that, they already know they under some fire. Let's just be clear. You know you problematic when you got to turn your comments off.
I'm just going to sit back and watch and see what happens. But I definitely stand with the victim. I believe her. And it's sad what happened to her and what he did. I mean, I know this is many years later, and he has already served his time, but I mean, still, he was wrong for not registering, and if they were trying to pay people to shut her up or keep her quiet, that was wrong too. So it is what it is. I'm going to sit back and enjoy like everybody else. I just want to say, Papa Bear, close your ears tonight, baby, because Mommy and Daddy going to be arguing.
Facts, absolutely. Definitely. It's gonna be a lot of cussing going on.
And she Caribbean too. You know she hot headed.
Yeah, so she from Trinidad, so you already know how that's gonna go. It's gonna be a whole she's pissed. She do not like this. This is just a bad day for Nicki. Really a bad day.
Yeah, this is a bad day. This is not a good look. Whether you're a Barb fan, a Barb or not, it's not a good look.
Absolutely not.
It's not good publicity at all. But I just wanted to call in and give you my 2 cents, Wiley.
Thank you so much for calling in. All right.
No worries.
All right. Thank you so much. Oh wow. So let me go. I think I got the next caller. 4134. You live on air.
Hi, Wiley. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm calling to talk about the Nicki Minaj situation.
Okay.
This is my opinion. I think she's so stupid, and I hate to call somebody stupid, but I think she's so stupid. Like, how some people just so smart so they're stupid. I think she's that type of person. And also too, I don't think she's that powerful, because if she's that powerful, we wouldn't be hearing nothing about this. She's not that powerful. And it is what it is. And that lady deserves every single dime that she gets. And I heard that she take Nicki for every penny that she has.
Of course, Nicki gonna settle. She should. If I were her, I would settle. I would just give them some money. Now,
she's stubborn.
She probably is. I won't even make this go out. I'll settle and move on. I would.
That's what I would do. But I think that she's so stubborn that she's probably going to try to fight this all the way, knowing her. Yeah. Because she has, like, her pride up, and I wouldn't be surprised if she divorces her husband. If she is married.
If they're married, and that's even more sad, because then you did all this for a boyfriend. But if he goes to jail, I think that will be, go back to prison. That she'll be done with that. That's another embarrassing moment for Nicki. It's just all around.
If she doesn't go too.
Yeah, if she don't go, yeah, you're right. Like this is just really sad. So we're gonna see how this is gonna operate. I'm definitely keeping y'all. I'm definitely gonna be going on Pacer to get the updates on this case.
There's one more thing. Everyone keeps talking about that there's like some type of video on YouTube where the alleged victim was stating that she never said that they gave her, Kenneth and Nicki gave her $20,000. She said I guess it was people around them.
It was an associate.
That gave her $20,000. Their associates. Mm-hmm. And then, but she's been telling the truth the whole entire time.
Yeah, it was the associate, allegedly. And you got to be careful with those associates having people doing your dirty work, because if it's evidence that she was attached to Nicki, that's going down. Like, she shouldn't. And then for her to get on the phone with her, why are you on the phone with this woman? Come on now. Okay. Thank you so much for calling in.
You're welcome. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Oh, my gosh, Nicki, why would you get on the phone with that woman? Are you thinking? Like, she doing mistakes that I can understand. You got too much money and power to be doing these basic mistakes like that. Anyway, 9012, calling you on the air.
What's up, Wiley?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I'm gonna just state my opinion. I don't care how nobody feel about it. I don't believe her. Mm-hmm. I don't believe her at all. I just don't. The reason why I don't is because she can tell her stories every time she tells her story is a different story. That's just how I feel. Every time I hear a story, it's a different story. Then when it comes to people saying that she did this and she did that, whatever, where's the proof? I ain't seen no proof yet.
I don't think that they will show
of Nicki contacting this woman at all.
She did. You didn't see the DM. You didn't see the Instagram.
Go off of everybody's word.
You didn't see the Instagram. I'm asking you a question. You didn't see the Instagram comment where she responded saying she was 16, he was 15, and they were in a relationship. You didn't see that Instagram comment that she was
say something about that then. Okay, but did she contact this woman?
You don't believe that?
Did she contact her?
Listen, it's not looking good. If she contacted her, that's bad for Nicki. What if it comes out that she did contact her?
It doesn't matter if it look good or not. Is there any proof?
I believe it is proved. You know, they have phone records. They have phone records, and that's
I don't
easily.
believe it at all. I just don't. And at the same time, you know, as far as that case with Kenneth and all that, look, there ain't nothing we can do about it. He already pled guilty to it. There ain't nothing we can do about that. But as far as Nicki contacting her and all that, we need proof. That's it.
Well, it's in the court, and I think it will come out. And if it's proved that come out, how would you?
Why would Nicki run her mouth? Think about it, bro. Why would anybody that is a millionaire run their mouth to social media about an open case? Who would do that?
No, you got
to be a fool.
No, this was before the case. I want to be clear. When she made that Instagram
it doesn't matter.
comment,
that's before the case. I'm talking about the case now.
She didn't say nothing that was current. She said in 2020, sir. You didn't hear my recap? Did you see the interview? She said that she reached out to her, that Nicki reached out to her last year back in 2020.
It's still he said, she says. That's all I hear.
I understand that. March of 2020. So if it's evidence, and this is where the case come in, because now it's in the court system.
Where's
so
the evidence?
We're gonna cover it. And so if it comes out that it was proof that Nicki did contact her, how would you feel?
I mean, it is what it is. She got the proof, but she ain't selling no proof yet. You going on all these other platforms, running your mouth, telling everything that's going on, right? But you ain't showing no proof yet. Anybody, listen. Nicki already made a big problem with this whole vaccine thing, and everybody going with that or whatever. So, yeah, at this point now, they're going to find anything to throw dirt on her name. That's just what they do in the media. That's the media for you. Mm-hmm. Anybody that got a problem with, they're going to throw dirt on their name. It is what it is.
But this before.
Nicki is playing, this girl is playing checkers. Nicki is playing chess.
Well, I want to be clear with you. Nicki husband pleaded guilty before Nicki Minaj husband did not register. This before she made public comments about being that she pleaded guilty. But what I'm saying is, if it's proof, this makes a lot of sense, and I would love to contact the Fox producers.
No, not really. No,
I would love to. I would like to know, and I would like to know, and maybe I need to email them. When did you all get the okay booking to book this woman, Jennifer Hough, for this interview? That's a very good question. I would like to know, when did they book Jennifer Hough for this interview? Because it's a booking date. You email, you reach out. When did you book the flight? When was that? And if this was before she made these public comments, then Nicki Minaj knew that one was going to go on the reel. But I can't really say that. I just want to ask the question: when did Jennifer Hough get booked for this interview?
To her fans about how she felt about getting the vaccine.
I understand that. I understand it. Which that was like last. I wish that was like last. That was like last week, right? That she came out and do that. But you know for a fact that this Jennifer Hughes interview probably been in process. No telling how long this been and they've been in communication of getting Jennifer Hughes on the show. So I don't know about that.
No telling how long it is. They could have booked it right away. Whatever. It's the next biggest story. They gonna throw whatever the heck is in the way, and they gonna put the biggest story up front. Period.
Right. This is a big story, so it's a job, it's ratings and stuff like that.
It's a big story. Yeah, right, it is at this point now, because all these bloggers and stuff are sitting up there listening to her story or whatever. Which I can't knock the girl's hustle for that. I can't knock her for her hustle, but at the end of the day, where's the proof? We have not seen one shred of proof of this yet. Am I trying to shame this girl for what happened to her? No. That's the problem with people. Everybody trying to sit up there and say, somebody victim shaming. Oh, you victim shaming. You just don't like. You like no.
That's a very valid point of what you're bringing up. Where's the proof of when Nicki contacted her? And I don't think she would show that on the real. You don't show your hand. You show that in the court of law. So I don't think they would show that evidence in the interview.
At the end of the day, she can sit up there and say this, he say, she say all that, right? She's going all on all these platforms and all that. She's showing her face. All of a sudden now, right? She's showing her face because I guess she feels protected at this point. But Nicki ain't come out and said nothing yet. Kenneth ain't even came out and said nothing yet. Nobody showed any kind of proof of what happened. So let me tell you something. So how y'all gonna shame Nicki for not saying anything? Y'all said this girl, she's not showing proof because of, for going to court and everything. You got to provide all that in court, right? But remember when she sat up there and now I watched a video a long time ago from Black Sea Blog where she showed some kind of court document stating that they contacted her and all this stuff about Kenneth, supposed to register as a sex offender. Meanwhile, come to find out, the court numbers were fake. The case number was fake.
Okay.
Nobody talked about that.
Well, this is what I want to say. It is a new.
That's the thing. A lie will be bigger than the truth.
I want to say for this case with Mr. Blackmore, the case that they have now, she was served. Okay, that's a fact. So then they have this. It's a court case. So we
sue anybody.
But I just want to see how this is going to turn out. Do you think this is embarrassing? I want to ask you this question before I go to the next caller. Do you think this is a very embarrassing moment for Nicki Minaj today?
No,
okay.
Because at the end of the day, all Nicki got to do is not say nothing. She ain't got to say nothing.
Well, she should have had that energy day one, not insert herself and didn't say nothing, period.
Yeah, she should have. That was down to me. This is where I feel like Nicki messed up. She should have never talked about this whole situation in the first place. She should have never said anything about this whole situation. But she did. She dealt with her cards. Now she got to deal with it. Now that she got to deal with it, all she got to do is what? Be quiet.
Yeah, right there.
Be quiet.
And let it pass.
Going around, telling her story, running her mouth. The only reason why this girl came out is because Nicki mentioned her. That's the only reason why she came out. And now all of a sudden they've been contacting her, and she got this. Okay. Where's the proof?
All right. Thank you so very much for calling.
Now one more thing. All Nicki got to do is just let the courts play out at this point. That's it.
All right. We should
just
definitely
be quiet.
Thank you so much for calling in. All right. We love talking to callers. Thank you. All right. I know people at work. I already know. So if you off, call in. 4994, call you on air. 4994. Okay. All right, call in, people, if you want to call in. But I understand, I get it. That's a good point. Where the proof? I don't think that would be done for them to, okay, this the proof. You let it play out in court. I do believe that this was a very strategic moment for, like I said, for Jennifer Hughes and her attorney to get some public support and awareness of this. I think that was very strategic. I think it was really great for her to do the real. But if I had to do this, if I had to make a decision who would do the booking, I would have went on, CBS This Morning, because the real definitely did not want to do this. They rushed it. I would have went on what's the lady Gayle King show. I would have went on maybe Oprah. I would have done that because the real. I felt the energy. They didn't want to do that interview, but y'all let me know in the comments. If you want to call in, the number is 646-716-8447 because I just felt their energy. I felt like they really didn't want to interview. Now, one of the girls, she didn't care. I don't think she got a relationship. What's her name? The one that was really asking the questions. I think she had asked the questions, stuff like that. But I don't, baby. They did not want an interview. Could you imagine if they was on Gayle King? She would have got into it. 3071, call you on air.
Hello, Wiley.
Hey.
Hello, everyone. My heart goes out to Jennifer because he was convicted of doing something to her. So that is wrong. And she wants money, but has anybody found a marriage certificate between Nicki Minaj and her so-called husband?
I haven't found it.
Because
is that public record, though? Can we find that in California? Is that like public record where we can find it or no?
It should be because I know in Charlotte you can pay a little bit of money and you can find it out. I know a couple of years ago it used to be free, but now you can find it. And I think also on Ancestry, it may be some type of information, but I do think that that is public. So if the case, like the attorney said I saw a clip of it, he said this is for Kenneth Petty, these allegations of harassment is against Kenneth Petty. If it's against him and he's not married to Nicki, what kind of money is she going to get? That's my question. Y'all have a great day.
All right, thank you. It's Nicki Minaj got the bag. That's what she was named. The lawsuit. Nicki Minaj got the bag, so Nicki gonna put this away, and that was very strategic of them doing that. They say Lonnie Love wasn't there. Lonnie Love was in the building somewhere. She didn't want to sit there and ask the lady that quick because she friends with Nicki. Come on now. Let me see if I can find a picture of Lonnie Love and Nicki Minaj. Give me a second. Hold on. Let me see if I can find a picture of Lonnie Love and Nicki Minaj. Hold up. Give me a sec. I think they friends. Hold up. Okay, Lonnie. Oh, wait a minute. Lonnie Love said Nicki Minaj was an hour late to the reel and demanded chicken for her crew. I don't think Lonnie Love is a friend. I think she just want to do that interview. Hold up. Because Lonnie Love was spilling some tea about her back in March 23rd, 2021. She said she was late and her crew wanted some fried chicken. Because it's about an appearance that she had to do back in 2014. Oh, man. Okay. I don't think Lonnie Love just wanted to do that. Okay. Okay. Well, anyway, they could, well, I don't think they friends. That's some chicken. Oh, my God. Who are these people do she hang around? Not you show up late and you want your people to have some chicken. Okay, let's go to the phone lines. 8997, caller, you on the air. 8997. Hello?
Hey, Wiley, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you turn me down in the back? Can you mute me in the back?
Oh, I thought I did. I apologize. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. While I hadn't called in a while, but I heard the show last night and I chimed in today. I work from home, so I saw you live and I was like, oh my goodness, let me try to catch him now since I've been so busy. But let me play devil's advocate a little bit. Being that, and I do have a law background. In this country, when somebody is convicted of a crime, when they have served their time, it's supposed to be once they have been convicted, they have served their time and paid their debt to society. I'm not victim bashing. I'm not saying anything because I have been a victim of certain things, and I have gotten counseling and gotten over. A lot of people have triggers. Not to say that I'm not taking up for Nicki's husband, however it goes, but how long does a person have to pay for a crime that they had been convicted of and served their time for and have not bothered that person again? My second thing is that I know a family member, a family member of a family member that was convicted of a crime of rape in the first, rape and sodomy first, under complicity, saying that they were there and didn't stop the act. Then 20 years later, the woman comes back and says that, oh, he didn't rape me, or I wasn't raped. But this man has served almost 25 years for a crime he didn't commit in the first place. And not only that, you come back later on because your conscience is guilty, saying that you wasn't raped at all. And so my thing is that there are people that are convicted on a daily basis that are serving years upon years for crimes that they did not commit. I'm not saying that he did not commit the crime, but there are a lot of people that are convicted and have served years for crimes they did not commit. And I heard a young lady say that I can't remember if it's last night or earlier, that he was convicted of the crime, so that makes him guilty. That does not necessarily make them guilty of the crime. They just guilty because the evidence that was stacked against them, or sometimes charges are trumped up against people, but sometimes people do things. If he was not Nicki Minaj's husband, I don't even think this would have even been an issue.
Well, this is the thing. I think that number one, you already been convicted. Number two, you have to register to be on a list, right? Because of what he was convicted of. For him failing not to register, that's on him, right? And if you are pressuring the victim in this case to recant her story, that's another problem. If you are saying I pay you some money, those are problems. You already been convicted. The best thing I would do is not ever talk to Jennifer Hough or try to talk to her ever again in day of my life. I won't even want to be around her.
And that's another thing I wanted to elaborate on. Okay, now pressuring is a huge word in this instance, because sometimes it's not even the person. It could be an attorney that may have given him advice to say, hey, okay, if you're not going to register, we need to reopen this case. And we need to see if we can get the victim to recant their story, to see, because over the years, stories change. And if just like the basketball player that was convicted of rape, I can't think of his name. I think his name was Janarin. It was some years ago. But anyway, the young lady that he was convicted of raping got on Facebook and bragged about how she got him convicted of rape, and he didn't do anything to her. It was consensual. So a lot of times, and a lot of people won't agree with that, but a lot of times there are people that are out there that she may have been pressured to say she was raped by family or a mother, or because she may have gotten caught in the act. I've seen that happen before, and say, oh, he was raping me, and then come back years later, oh no, it was consensual.
Okay, you have
to see the other side.
But with this victim, Jennifer Hughes, that's not her story. She says she was violated. She don't want the money. She don't want to recount her story. Leave me alone. My thing is, Nicki should never should have never inserted herself by saying they ran in this relationship, that she was 15, she was 16. Nicki should have never inserted herself in there. Nicki got a bag. She got a war chest of cash. So anything that you do, and if you misstep, you can open yourself up to a lawsuit. Do you agree?
Yeah, you can't open yourself up. See, silence is... Nikki Giovanni told me years ago, silence says more than 1,000 words could ever say. And I can understand she probably was taking up for him and trying to trying to save her image, to say, hey, I am not.
But can I say this? Hello, you there? Hello. Okay, I think she hung up. But this is why you supposed to talk to your team before making that decision. You have powerful people that they went to school. They are experts in this business. And before you make that type of decision, talk with your team. Okay, call back in, sis. 8725. Call her. You're on the air. She hung up, but I think she's going to call back in. 8725.
Oh, hi.
Welcome.
Hi, Wiley.
Welcome. Hi.
So I just watched the interview, and my heart goes out to her, Jennifer, because she looks very terrified. I mean, this is like an open wound, and I know some people. First of all, thank you for covering this story. I know some people are not going to cover it, like your friend Tasha K. She's like a big Nicki Minaj fan, but anyways, this is besides the point. I think it would have been nice for like even a bigger platform like Gayle King or Oprah to cover this story, but well, the real is I think the best we are going to get. But I just wanted to say that I appreciate you for covering this story. I do believe her. I think that as much as I love Nicki's music, she should never have gotten involved. I wish she didn't even end up with this man because it's chaotic, you know. She's already going through things with, you know, her music and everything. I just wish she didn't like get involved with this because this is like tainting her brand. And you know, let's see how it plays out. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. All right. For the thank you so very much. Okay. People are definitely calling in. We the number is 646-716-8447. We're talking about this case. We're talking about it. So please don't say the R word. Just say R word, okay? Okay, people. I understand and stuff like that. Just to help with the algorithm and stuff like that. Please. All right, we're gonna go to the next caller. 9262. Caller, you're on air.
Hello, Wiley today.
Hi.
Yes.
Welcome.
Hi. Yes, and thank you. There is a problem with society. This is Miss King calling. That we have to explain that we are not victim shaming just because we give our opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that? That we have to explain that first, that we're not victim shaming.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that there is an extreme coincidence that Nicki Minaj had the same words as Bill Cosby, who was incarcerated with many men accused of things who cannot afford an attorney. And this is just unfair to her. And she's the only one that they bring on about this subject when there's many other women that are actually factual.
Mm-hmm. So I want to say, wow, okay, you said a lot, but Jennifer Hughes have a very valid case, right? And if she had, and I want to speak on if she have evidence that Nicki did it, that's a good case in my humble opinion, right? This is not considered with Bill Cosby. That's like, this is totally different than Bill Cosby. This man, Kenneth Petty, was actually convicted and he served time in prison. And then he did not register. So you can't compare Bill Cosby to Kenneth Petty because it's totally two different cases.
The ones he was incarcerated with, like your last caller said, that there are people that are incarcerated wrongly. That's what I was stating. He met plenty of them, like Nicki said when she came out and said it on Queen Radio. Nicki knew she had a career to save. That's why she would come out and say it. I don't think she would worry about that one little thing at 15 years old, but the world is.
Well, I think Nick. Honestly, I think Nicki. I think she should have never spoke on it. Honestly, because you have. I don't think you got to think of Jennifer Hughes in this, the victim in this. You are opening doors up to being harassed. You open the doors up for people to find out her information. She had to move multiple times, and I'm just repeating to you what Jennifer said. You know, in the interview. I don't know if you watched the interview. I'm really hurt by that. She had to move them, you know, multiple times. That's very painful.
Yes, but if I'm Nicki too on the streets, but if Blige was repeating, "Oh, it's a rape victim for my husband I'm great to marry," I want to clear my voice is what I want to say too. I am going to do that.
But you should, but honestly, you should honestly, if you have a bag, ma'am, the best thing I would do is talk with your team and get some counsel before you make that decision. Because it can come back and bite you in the behind. That's how I look at it. I don't think that you come out and you just start saying this stuff and repeating stuff without you fact checking and stuff before you come out and put this out in the atmosphere. Because whatever Nicki said, she have millions of followers. This ain't you just talking to your homegirl down the street, Pookie them or Shaquana them from the hood. This is somebody with power.
Yes. Of course, and all right, so some majority of people speaking on this story has hate for Nicki Minaj. That's why the lady that's off of YouTube posted something very evil towards Nicki's baby. Most people speak on this because of the hate for Nicki. So tell the truth, let's be honest and get real.
Yeah.
She said the same statement Bill Cosby said around innocent people that could not afford attorneys. That's all. She speaks very proper. She's very intelligent. There's nothing that she hid from no one when she made the statement to tell her side. So what is wrong with that? The hate for Nicki comes in.
Okay.
Oh, Nicki's
I want to say this.
Bring Nicki down. Let's talk about this.
Well, this is definitely is a conversation. I want to say this is very strategic for Mr. Blackburn to do this interview because
how come it isn't a conversation for other victims?
Because it's not about other victims. This is about Jennifer Hughes. You can't say, well, what about everyone? No, we're talking about this one particular topic. And this was very strategic because it pressures for a settlement.
Rapes and drugs men, that's not a topic to be discussed and talked about. They let that go. Why? Because she's everybody's favorite against Nicki. Make it make sense to me, though. Fair is fair. She's a female star that admitted on the internet. It was only talked about for one day. Do you saying this out of your mouth? Now, what's the difference?
All right. Well, we thank you so very much for calling in. Good afternoon to you. Thank you. Okay. All right. We're going to go to the next caller. Okay. I don't know what she was talking about, honestly, but okay. Thank you, ma'am. 9867. Go ahead. Caller, you on air.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
This is the voice of New York. Wiley, your other previous callers, they just delusional. Anyway, I don't know what's going on with these black women coming in and caping. But the thing is, let's move aside that this is Nicki. This is wrong on all aspects, right? I think people just can't believe that Nicki will do something like this. But let me tell you, there are people and some people's family who are, doing vile acts. And people can't believe it. When someone dies and a son is like a killer and the mom's like, oh my God, my son will never. That's the thing. You can't say it. Never. You can never say never. Now with this whole Jennifer case, I'm glad she came forward. Was the proper platform? No, because the way they were asking the questions, I feel like someone like in Lila Vanzar, I'm probably butchering her name, someone like Gail King needs to be, I think people like those would have been a great format because the setting, more intimate and things of that nature. With that said, Nicki should have kept her mouth shut. She didn't know the case. That's what people are not understanding with this case. She was minding out her business, and Kenneth decided because my woman, my wife, is Nicki Minaj, I'm not gonna register. He's been registering all these years. The audacity for him to not register. People must understand. Had he had registered, this would not have happened. But Nicki knows because he has to register that he's bind and he's tight. Okay, so that's why she's like, hey, I'm Nicki Minaj. I'm gonna go ahead and pay this person off so that my husband can move freely. We cannot, when someone has been victimized, male or female, the trauma that they go through, rather than mentally, the resources that they use through medical resources, through monetary resources, and all financial debt. We don't know what these victims are going through. So no, we can't say, oh, he went to jail and that's it. No, that person has to live with that trauma for the rest of their life. We don't know how she interacts with new mates. We don't know if she sees someone that look like Kenneth, how that's being triggered. What about the emotional toll she has to go through? What about the time that she has to be contacted with? And I don't know why y'all think Nicki is God or something. Like, she is a human being, and human beings can do vile things, right? Like, come on. I mean, we all see what happened. Look at the Bible, what things be going on. Like, I just think people are delusional, and they can't believe that someone like Nicki Minaj is doing this. But it happens, and it happens more so than you think. And I'm glad this is getting publicity. I think this is going to damage Nicki's career. But, Wally, I don't feel sorry for Nicki because she knew this. It'd be different, guys, and chat, if this came out the blue. Like, his records were sealed. Nicki had no inclination, nothing. But Nicki knew, which means she agreed. She signed up for this. So when you sign up for this, stand 10 toes down. Not only she signed up for this, but she went on her big platform and opened up her big old foul chicken mouth to go on stage and then disrespect the victim. The victim didn't ask for this. Only the victim is doing defending herself against a powerhouse. So let's give grace to the victim, because I find it very baffling that a lot of black women are using isolated incidences that happen to their peers or their loved ones to justify Nicki incidences. Now, and we can say that a lot of black women are victimized, and there are a lot of victims who don't come forward. And this is the main reason why. And I hope we don't have anyone that's on that jury who called recently, the granny that just called, as well as the smoking auntie that just called. Because then that's very detrimental. And this is why, Wiley, a lot of women or young girls and even young boys who are getting, sexually assaulted by family members don't say anything, because the older generation or even people who know them will be like, Ray will never do that. What are you talking about? And that is dampening their experience, and I think that is wrong. Okay? So, like I said, we can agree to disagree. You're not getting paid. And Wiley, I'm glad you're covering this, okay? No one is getting paid for Nicki, okay? Y'all not getting paid for Nicki. Y'all don't know Nicki. Y'all don't know her. Y'all don't know her. And you know what? Nicki should have thought about this decision and accountability. Accountability and responsibility. That's something y'all. Why y'all watch? She's a grown woman. She's almost 40.
She is almost 40.
She's almost 40.
You're right.
Come on now. She's trying to play chess and she failed and she checkmate herself. That's how you know she doesn't know how to think. She should. You know what she did? She decided to take on the burden of someone who has nothing to lose. She has everything. He has nothing. And he's utilizing her money. Let's talk about that. How she's utilizing her money for a bum. What y'all need to do is text Nicki divorce him. Nicki needs to divorce him. The only way we can forget about this is Nicki this Friday go a versus match with Little Kim. Then I think this story will be buried.
Yeah, it'll be buried.
You know the thing? That's the only way we will forget about this. But I think Nicki knew. I think someone mentioned that maybe someone tipped Nicki off about this interview with Through the Rail, and Nicki tried to get ahead of the story and start this whole nonsense of, well, I didn't want to get vaccinated because, my cousin boyfriend, blah, 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 it's like, what are you doing, Nicki? Y'all think Nicki is dumb, but Nicki is not dumb at all, okay? She has been in this business for years. She has been social media trained for years. Okay, y'all need to stop playing. And she's from Queens, all right? She's a New Yorker, and New Yorkers know. I'm a New Yorker myself. We think kind of differently in certain incidences. So I don't put past nothing against anybody. Okay, you don't know how people are. People can change in a flip of a dime.
Facts.
Okay, so I just thank you so much, Wiley, and
thank you
for the callers who are on the victim side.
All right, thank you so very much.
All right, have a good day.
Okay. When you come in the building, click the like button real quick. Okay, we got a lot of callers. Keep it short because I have to do this conference call. So when you call in, keep it short, get to the point. So we come in. Not a long-winded today. Don't be long-winded. Because I got to take this conference call in about 30 minutes. 8997, caller, you're on air. 8997. Okay. 1076.
Hello.
Hi, welcome. Yes, I can hear you.
Hi. Oh, good. This is perfect because I have to have a call too in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. I just want to say that so many people haven't read about this case and haven't read about Jennifer Hough's story, and they really need to before they go balls to the wall trying to defend Nicki, okay? This lady reported this incident the day it happened. She went straight to the authorities when it happened. She got an R kit done when it happened. There was a lot of evidence about pointing to a conviction, okay? His lawyers at the time, he had money. This man had a lot of money, okay, a lot of illicit money, and he was able to get actually his charges reduced. So it wasn't a trumped-up charge that he was convicted on.
It was a lesser charge.
He was convicted on a reduced charge of attempted R, when really the initial charge was first-degree R. So people need to understand that, you know, first of all, this is not an innocent man. He really has been able to abuse the system all along, okay? He only went to jail for 4.5 years. Now he comes out and decides to still abuse the system by not registering, not taking responsibilities for his actions, not doing what he's supposed to do, and opening up his whole family to all this nonsense. And honestly, then when you look at Nicki, it's like it's amateur hour, okay? Because you are a megastar. What possesses you to pick up the phone and call the victim and say anything at all? Okay? She had no business getting involved. And like you said, she could have married this man and kept him in the background. But no, she feels that rules don't apply to her and that she can just parade this guy around and no one's going to notice. She can post pictures of her child and no one's going to notice or care about all the hurt that this man has caused. And you should really, I encourage everyone to really look up Jennifer's story because it's awful. She's had to, like you said, be re-traumatized, 20 years later, all because this man went and married a superstar and now he has all this money. And, to have them follow her family around, she can't even be around her daughter. She had to move away from her daughter to protect her daughter. Do you know how that must feel? Just because someone else decided not to take his responsibilities, you can't be around your child 20 years later. So I pray for Jennifer. I say God cover her. I encourage every fan to just take a step back and just consult your own humanity, and say that this is not right. And this is really, honestly, beyond Nicki, this is about what's right. And this is about this system of abuse that protects abusers, and particularly when they have money. And it's not right.
Yeah, thank you so very much for breaking that down, Queen. You broke it down with facts. Thank you. Okay. You just never know. Thank you, sister. Okay, we're going to say we got 3 more callers, and I'm going to get my closing remarks. 0308, caller, you're on the air.
Yes, how you doing? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Welcome.
All right, cool. Yeah, so from everything, I agree with everything the last 2 ladies have said. As far as Nicki go, from how I seen everything, just from a regular standpoint, besides her being a megastar and everything like that or whatever, when Remy came home, she got with Meek because I feel like Meek was the young guy that had the street cred at the time or whatever. Nicki was always playing, so whereas though she had Young Money and the protection, whereas though she actually ended up becoming bigger than a lot of the guys, whereas though she didn't really need protection and stuff like that because she was on tour and all that or whatever. So Meek Mill get embarrassed, blah blah blah. We all know that. Then Cardi comes about, gang affiliated, blah blah blah. Kenny comes about or whatever. Once Kenny come about, in the regular mindset of them knowing each other from when they was kids, whatever, Nicki don't care about her being a megastar. It's just the fact of that she has the accessibility to do what it is that she able to do for real. So it's not the people and the fans I feel like that really are damaging to Jennifer's credibility. It's the actual people that actually know them for real from when they was kids and their actual close circle that's actually really affecting Jennifer. And Nicki for Kenny is like a lottery ticket in the hood. So it's anybody that knows Kenny from the years that been since that happened to Jennifer or in between that time feel like, oh, all right, well, I know where Jennifer may still be at. I can contact her for them. I can get in contact, So with all that being said or whatever, I feel like she's doing the right thing as far as what she's suing them for. Them contacting her indirectly, directly, or whatever after the process. Whatever. Like she said, she minded her business and everything. So once Nicki addressed it in a comment with the fans, like you said, no one had to know about who Kenny was. That could have been her own business. Kenny could have came out and gave his own little statement for real, but instead everything always been a joke. Whereas though the perspective of her a fame for real is just the overshadow. Whereas though that's why I feel like she really don't care too. Whereas though it's no matter whatever happens with Kenny in court or anything, regardless of anything, if Nicki never put out music today or tomorrow, it's other things that we don't know about that she has her money tied into. Whereas though she feel like she'll always be good just off of her name and the work that she put in before she got with that man. So that's why I was like, now she don't even it's like, okay, whatever, I got the baby mama, At the end of the day, these people are still not going to be around. So then she's doing the right thing by getting what she need to get out of the situation of them bringing her up. And that's just how I feel.
All right. Thank you so very much for calling in. All right. So the number is 646-716-8447. We're going to go to the next caller. 9188. You live on air. 9188. You're live on air.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to the Wiley Show.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Hello.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to start by saying, I do believe that Nicki was wrong for commenting on Instagram about that. She should have never done that. She probably should have never married him anyway, because that's a tarnish on her legacy, on her image. But on the other hand, I want to ask, like, when stuff like this comes out in the media or in the news or on blogs and stuff, why do people automatically assume that it's true? Why can't we be unbiased in it? Why can't we wait to form our opinion until the actual evidence or facts come out on the case? You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I hear you, but
like,
you gotta understand, court. It's a such thing called court of public opinion. So I don't think the public is going to wait for all the evidence and all the details before they come to a conclusion. They're going to read a headline, some going to see the media, some going to come to a conclusion. But I think it's our job as YouTubers to come out once the facts come out and give updated information. But that's the reason it's a such thing called court of public opinion.
Yeah, but I think that it's kind of crazy for people like running and taking it as the truth. Like, nobody's even saying, like, say for instance about her calling the lady. They're not even saying allegedly Nicki calling the lady. They're saying it's wrong for Nicki to call her. Like, we don't even know if that's true or not. So, and I do believe in public opinion. That's why it was smart for the girl's lawyer to have her on the TV show, because guess what? It's not about what is true. It's about our perception. And many people are going to perceive that the lady is telling the truth, which is why she went on the reel, because of public, perception, as you stated. But my only two things about the case that's a little concerning is that, for one, if there is evidence, which if there is evidence, then Nicki, that's just wrong. But if there's evidence, like people are saying it, why are there no criminal charges? Because these are federal crimes that we're talking about. Why are there no federal charges? Usually when there's stuff like this occurs, it goes to criminal court and then it goes to civil court. Why is it straight to civil court? Why are there no criminal charges?
That's not out of the ordinary. That's a question that we ask to the DA. They do their own investigation, but he can always go and file a civil case, period. It don't have to go to criminal first and then civil. That's a decision of the attorney.
Think about it, Wiley. Just think about it. Let's use our common sense.
But the burden of, but I want to say this though, the burden of proof in civil court is different than criminal. You do know that, right?
No,
the burden of proof is different.
Yeah, it is. But what I'm saying is, if there's enough evidence out there, say she has recordings of Nicki calling her, say she can prove that these people have harassed her and all of this, then there should be criminal charges filed. You do agree with that?
I agree with that. That's up to the prosecutor. The DA have to do that. A grand jury got to be convened. They have to have their own investigation. Yeah, that's not on Mr. Blackburn. Mr. Blackburn is a defense attorney. He's not a prosecutor.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, people were saying the U.S. Marshals involved in that. If there was actual evidence out there that the Marshals, even though the Marshals don't even involve with stuff like this, that's the FBI. If there was actual evidence out there already, then there will be criminal charges that will be, coming forth.
Well, I want to say this though. That's up to the prosecutors. We don't know what investigations they got. They not gonna come out and say we got this investigation. They investigate, so we don't know. But Mr. Blackburn can do whatever his client want. If his client want to go to civil right, he can do the civil right. I mean, he's an attorney. He's a defense attorney. So,
but no, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, as far as that's why we need to wait. As far as taking,
but the public not gonna wait. Unfortunately, that's good in the perfect world, but we are in the real world, and when things come out, we do commentary on it. People ain't waiting about R. Kelly; they're covering this on a weekly, daily basis because the public is interested. So they're not gonna wait, not at all. They're not gonna wait.
My other thing about the civil lawsuit, that was a little bit strange to me. And I don't have no fight in it, but it was just a little strange to me, is that when they're suing for the actual crime that happened in the 90s as well, to me, that kind of is like a money grab.
But it's not illegal. You can do that. It's civil.
No, it's not illegal, but that to me just screams money grab more than you know, I'm really affected by what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, why bring up something that the man already been convicted and served time for to throw that into your lawsuit? That just screams money grab to me.
It's of course, it's civil is about money, so that's a good strategic move, good attorney, good move. Why not?
What I'm saying is that for me that just actually gives me more insight of thought process of her. It's smart, yes, because I would have done the same, but it just gives me more insight of how she's thinking, you know, that it's more of a money situation than the actual, you know, harassment and all of that.
Listen, but for me, I don't think this would ever been a conversation if he would have registered. Let's just say Nicki.
You're 100% right.
And if Nicki had a conversation,
Nicki never commented on Instagram.
She should have never did. It just was messy. It was messy. I don't think she should. And if she picked up that phone and got on the phone with Jennifer, that was another. I don't know if she did. I'm gonna just say allegedly. That's another sticky situation. Why are you on the phone with a woman that was allegedly? I mean, not even like that was. You know, that was abused by your husband. He had served time for it. Why would you do something? If she did do that, I think that wasn't wise. That was
right. It wasn't.
That wasn't wise. Who does that? Like, because that can.
It's definitely gonna talk. This gonna whether it comes out not true. If it comes out not true, I still think it's gonna have a little tarnish on Nicki's legacy because at this point, like you say, it's what public view. Like people don't care about the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all about what they perceive happened. So many people already feel like she's guilty. So that's going to hurt her, you know, regardless of the outcome of everything, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Thank you so very much for calling in.
All right, no problem.
Okay. For people that are just joining in, we're covering the Jennifer Hughes interview that she did on The Real. So we're taking phone calls. If you missed the live, no problems. Once this live is over, you can catch the replay. And it was good. You don't want to miss my first 10 minutes of this interview, of this conversation, because I really went in. So for those that are just joining us, 8997, calling you on the air. 8997.
Hey, Wiley, I'm sorry. I got cut off earlier. Someone said that I was delusional. No, I was not delusional.
You just giving your opinion.
It is a fact.
You just giving your opinion.
Yes.
Don't even respond to that. Just give your opinion.
Yeah, I understand. But what I'm saying is it's a fact that there are a lot of men convicted of crimes in this country that they did not commit. But in this case, when I first heard about Kenny Petty, it was not from Nicki Minaj. Nicki didn't even mention him from the beginning, from what I recollect. It was the ex-girlfriend of his that he left that had the 5 children. The girl that was working in the strip club, I think she was like a waitress or something at the strip club. And she had made this big whoop. You remember when Nicki was giving away the turkeys, but not in the neighborhood? And she ran into him, and he, they saw each other. And so this girl and Kenny had a baby together, had some kids together or something. And she was the one that made the big whoop. And that's when everybody started digging and saw that he was a convicted sex offender. So from my understanding, it was not Nicki that put it out there. It was her that put it out there, and then someone told her to just be quiet. Okay, secondly, no one looks at the fact that Nicki is a celebrity. Now, he is wrong for not registering. The law is the law, no matter what your status is. The law is the law. If you're supposed to register, then you're supposed to register. But at the same time, Nicki is a celebrity. So when you register as a sex offender, you have to put your address and everything is public. And so when he registered before, Nicki was somebody had sent pizzas to her house. I mean, she was getting all this crazy stuff. Then she moved again. Okay. Then, I guess that's when they thought of, well, if we get in touch with her to get her to recant her story, that's the only way we can overturn this case so you don't have to be a registered sex offender. Nobody sees that, but you got people that he was convicted or we don't know, we were not there. You have people speaking as if they know Nicki personally, they know this young lady personally, they know Kenny personally. My opinion is this. We don't know what happened. We were not there. I'm not taking up for him. if he did the crime, then yes, he's supposed to have served his time. He was convicted. He was a child, and in this country, the best way to pull down especially a black man, is put the R word on him, and he is that's just like getting crucified. But that's all I had to say, Wiley. You have the most amazing day, and you enjoy the rest of your day.
I feel
and
that.
You be blessed here.
Thank you. You said something I do want to comment on. Is him registering, right? He have to register. That's one of the consequences when you marry somebody that have to register. So if they deliver a pizza, you know what you're doing. You're marrying a man that is going to be on public display. So that's one of the. You got to weigh that. Do you really want to take that risk? And so she did that. That still do not excuse him for not registering, because that's a law. Until public policy change and everything like that, and all that, I have my own questions about that, because I feel like if you serve your time, why do you have to register for the rest of your life? That's a public policy.
Well, I know why.
Those are laws.
And it depends on the rape case.
Right. It depends on different levels, right? We know this. But on his level,
it depends on different levels.
He have to register.
Once you are Yes, once you have been convicted as a sex offender, you have to register for the rest of your life. Reason they started doing that is because there were rapists that were being let go out of prison, and they were going back
to doing
it.
I can understand that.
Doing the same thing, and they were going back to their victims, especially the ones that rape children. They were when you get out, they were living in neighborhoods and exactly.
I think that
the good has to suffer with the bad.
Yeah, and I do believe that it should be phases where, if you've been doing great for about 10 years or 15 years, you can get off or something like that. But that's all depends upon the change laws. I don't, I'm not I'm not a politician. But you have to register. That's the law right now. So.
Racist, okay. I mean, once you are an R-word person, then, I don't trust nothing about you. That's just point blank. I don't trust nothing about you. But the circumstances surrounding it, like I said, I know a person that was convicted of the R-word and been serving almost 25 years. And the lady came back and said, I wasn't R-word. Matter of fact, it wasn't even him. Then the prosecutors got smart. They knew it was not him, so they convicted him under complicity. Complicity is just like you committing the crime yourself. When you're in the act, you have a duty to stop the felony or call the emergency personnel to report the crime. But at the end of the day, there are many out there. Like I said, I don't know this man from a can of paint. He don't know me. Nicki don't know me, none of us, but we're crucifying her for the decision she made and things, and we don't know the circumstances around it. No, she should have been radio dead silent. But at the end of the day, I guess she was trying to get ahead of her own story and said, well, no, this is the situation, because the ex-girlfriend had came out and said that this guy was convicted of
we're talking about. And I want to say this, and I'm going to go to my next caller. We're talking about a celebrity that got powerful people that work for her. She's not by herself. She have a team, or you should have a team, but she have a team, because when she got into that mess with the whole, deal, she saw, I talked to my publicist, I talked to this person. She was naming all these people on her team. Why are you not listening to those people?
They gave her the wrong advice.
I don't think
sure did.
If they did, they need to be fired. But my thing is this: you should. I would have called somebody and said, is this wise? For me, it is a bad decision, because look what we're doing today. We're talking about a court case. We're talking about an interview. So it was a bad decision on Nicki Minaj's behalf, because she have a career to think of. Kenneth Petty don't have a career. Nicki have the career. Nicki got the bag. So anything you attach to, and this is somewhat a lot of women that want a man, and when you got money and you try to date a man that don't have money, really look at that. You got to protect your bag, because they're gonna come after your bag in some cases. In this particular case, it's very wise, very strategic, because who's going to be If he got to pay millions, who's gonna pay it? It's gonna be the wife. It's gonna be Nicki if they're married. That's why Nicki was named, because she got the bag. Kenneth ain't got no money. So this was bad on Nicki.
He ain't got no money. He is living off her. She's happy. If she's happy with it, I love it. But I just think that it's just a double standard for people when and I like Nicki. I'm not a big fan of her music. I'm not a big fan of Cardi B. That issue is just exhausting. But this woman came out of her mouth and said that she drugged and robbed men. And nobody said it. Nobody was in an uproar.
Oh, that's not true.
There were a few people in an uproar, but it wasn't enough for them to cancel her.
You know what?
Deal,
you know why? Because it was in a rap song. If she had credible victims to come out and the DA would investigate.
A few did come out and they clowned them.
No. I'm not only talking about coming out. If I'm talking about the DA would have done a press conference and say, we are investigating her because of these allegations. If it was a victim to this, I think it would have been I think they would have canceled her. She would have been called out. And it's different with men than it is with women. Unfortunately, when a man said it, I understand if a man, I don't really see a man say they were abused by a woman. They really don't report that because they a man, because you'll get laughed at. Oh, you a man. So
that's the point.
That is a double standard, and that you make a point. All victims, if it's a victim, need to be called out, need to be supported. But I don't think men victims that get victimized by a woman get the same support if a woman get violated by a man. So I agree with you on that. But thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah, well, okay, darling, you have a great day.
Thank you so very much.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Let's go to the next caller. Okay. All right. 4994. 4994. Hey, welcome to the Wiley Show.
Hi, Wiley.
Oh, hi.
All right. So I just called in to say this. I believe Jennifer, and personally, I will believe anyone, whether it be a man or a woman, who speaks out about things like this. And I do this because I believe it's just the right and compassionate thing to do. And I'd want the same thing done for me if something like that ever happened to me and I wanted my voice to be heard. So I just find it really sad that so many people are attacking Jennifer. And what's even more sad is all the Nicki fans, the stans, who I think are mostly young people, are attacking this woman and not even giving her a chance or really listening to her story. And I also think we need to talk more about how dangerous stan culture is, how delusional people can become, how hard people will ride for someone they don't even know. And after I watched Jennifer's interview today on The Real, I saw so many tweets on saying that, nothing will ever make me unstand Nicki, I love Nicki, queen of rap, things like that. And I just find that that's just scary to me. But with everything aside, I will always believe women, especially women of color. I think we need more protection in this, and I just wish people cared more and had more compassion when we speak out about things like this. And I just want to clarify that I'm not saying that I know, for sure that Jennifer isn't lying, because, I wasn't there. But at this point, I believe her. So, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I just wish people would, believe people more when they speak out about things like this.
All
Thanks,
right.
Wiley.
Thank you so very much for that. We're going to go to the next caller. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We down to 2 callers. Okay. We're going to take this and we done. Okay. 5577. Because y'all had called in today. 5577, you're live on air.
Hi.
Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to say what the one lady had said about Nicki's ex was definitely true. I remember that. I was going to say that, Nicki really probably felt she had to defend herself. I'm not saying what she did was right, and I definitely do believe this lady, Jennifer. I feel really sorry for her, especially since she had to move away from her daughter. I can't imagine having to go through something so traumatic long ago and then having to relive it all over again. Like, that's just really sad, and sorry. So I remember when it first started buzzing on the internet. This is also after, sadly, her brother was also convicted of rape. I mean, the R word, sorry. So they were really attacking her like, now you're with this guy and your brother. She probably felt really attacked about the situation because it really made a lot of people look at her funny, like the kind of people you associate yourself with, and her being able to use her money and her celebrity to try to bully somebody. That's how it's coming off, is what the lady is saying, even if because you could use people to go do stuff, or you can make a comment, and then her fans are going to go attack this poor lady who's probably been trying to move on with her life. If she had not said nothing online, it could have easily just been swept under the rug. So really, whoever's on her team really ill-advised her. She should have gotten a lawyer when she started feeling some type of way about people bringing it up, and a PR team that deals with legal situations is what she should have done.
And or
So
if they say don't do it, and if you don't listen to, because it could be they gave her say don't do this, or she could just went out on it and didn't even ask no counsel or no. So, but if they told her to do it, they all need to be fired. If they told her, go ahead, girl, do it. No wise PR person would do that.
She advised. I
No.
don't think she asked for, because it was a live. So, I remember that live, and there was, I don't know if it's still up, but I know on YouTube there was some, and the comments were really going in on her about it, and also the fans, once the girl kind of went in, kind of put his name out, the fans did their own research, and that's when they was going on her live, and it was just that particular live, I think that kind of broke her. But before that, they was going in on her. And I'm just like, I feel bad for her, but she knew what she was marrying into. It's not like she did not know. It wasn't a secret. His past wasn't a secret. He does have to register. Every time I think you move, or every so many years, I think you're supposed to take a new picture. That's why he has so many pictures, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how that exactly works. But, for him not to register, and he already has a child, I think this is really hindering him in his marriage. I think this is going to hurt their marriage a little bit, because this really all going to fall on Nicki. She has way too much to lose. This man has absolutely, like you said, he has nothing to lose. Nothing. He's doing nothing but gaining at this point, because he's simply married to Nicki Minaj and has a baby with her. He's automatically in the win. Automatically. Facts. And this woman has her name, her reputation, that's already ruined. Well, it's not necessarily ruined, but, people are looking at her sideways.
Yeah, and so she has to do it. So we definitely going to keep covering. Thank you, sis. I believe this is your first time calling in, right?
Yes.
Welcome. Yes. Okay, thank you. Hope you subscribe to the show.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Okay.
Yes, I did.
All right, thank you. Okay, we're going to go to the next caller. Y'all call in. I'm making sure I get everybody today, so y'all will not be, say you ain't get a chance to call in. Anonymous, you live on the air.
Hi, Wiley.
Hey.
Hey. Okay, so I first want to start off where I think that Jennifer being on The Real was stemmed from political motivation. And the reason why I say that is for the last month, Nicki has been bumping her gums on the internet. But the whole topic with the COVID and the balls and the going back and forth, I think that escalated, because we have known about Jennifer's story since 2019, 2020, right? And this came out, a few months ago, I think in People's Magazine, that Jennifer was suing Nicki Minaj and her husband, right? So that came out a few months ago. It's just ironic that after this whole debacle with the vaccine, that now she's suddenly on, the View or whatever talk show
This was the real. But my thing is this, because
The
I
real.
work on shows. I mean, I'm just saying, you book a guest. So my thing, and this was a pre-recorded interview. So when was she booked?
Exactly.
Nicki just started talking about this a week ago. So this one, like 6 months, she was really covering. No, she just talked about this a week ago. So my thing is this: when did the real book Jennifer? And I'm just giving my assumption. I don't know. I think that they booked her maybe last week. And Nicki got word, and that made her come out public about this is why I'm not at the Met Gala. And all I do believe, I put my money on it. I can't prove it because I don't have the thing, but we got some producers that can send me, the real producers can send some tea this way, because I would like to know, when did you book her? Because that's an answer, and don't let them drop the receipts that they booked her, last week.
I was trying to listen to Nosy to see if she may have had the
Yeah.
answers as far as when Jennifer was booked for the real, because I think that would kind of tie in. Now, it's not to discredit Jennifer's story, because she definitely needed that platform so that she can speak on the allegations that she spoke on YouTube, because a lot of YouTubers was saying, why are you bringing it to YouTube? Why are you bringing it to YouTube? Why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing that? Okay, well, she's moved from YouTube to a more national stage where she's gained a huger audience to listen to her story as far as what she has endured over the course of the last year or so. But I'm just questioning exactly when did this interview take place, like whether or not it took place before Nicki did this whole COVID stuff, or if it took place after.
My money is on there that it was pre-recorded, that they did that soon around the time she went on that rant. I put my money on that. I can't prove it, but I would love for them to leak some information when they book it, because that will prove why Nicki Minaj. And if it's evidence that she did it because they did the interview, then it all makes sense. And it was very smart for Nicki, because this is a good issue to talk about, because you get all this publicity, but she completely went silent. And then she said, I'm going to leave Twitter. It's very strategic. So why did she say all this? Why did she do all this? I think she knew that Jennifer was booked for this interview, and she tried to distract. And The Real was very strategic to release it right after all the mess. That's very smart of them, because news cycles change all the time. That was very strategic on The Real. So shout out to The Real for doing this, because it was very strategic. They did the interview towards the end of the show, gave her about 30 minutes, and they did the real stuff. This was a ratings boost. This was very strategic, and it was very wise for Jennifer Attorney to be sitting there, because now it pressured Nicki to know we're serious. This ain't no joke. They're really serious about this. You know how some people are sued ain't really serious. They serious. They want the money now, and it ain't no $20,000. I can guarantee you that. They're not suing for no $20,000.
The only reason why I question that is because, like how you said, that they looked uncomfortable when they was asking the question.
They did.
Which, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they're told, hey, listen, we're bringing this person on the show, you're going to have to do this interview, that's the only reason why I'm saying that, is because they looked uncomfortable when they were doing the interview with Jennifer. Now, as far as her story has been consistent. I mean, if you go through her videos from YouTube, even up to, the interview that she just gave on The Real, her story has stayed consistent. So for the ones that saying that her story has changed, her story has not changed. She still talk about the bus stop, how the whole incident started. She still talk about when she started getting harassed. She talked about the $20,000, the same thing that she spoke about on YouTube. She spoke about the phone call on YouTube that she spoke to Nicki. It's the same thing that she said on the actual interview. So it's not much about her story that has changed. Her story has stayed consistent. Her story has stayed the same. So I can't diminish that, and we can't diminish someone's trauma. You know what I'm saying? She experienced that, and I know a lot of people say that, okay, that happened way, in the 90s. Granted, but she was she was forced to relive that, due to people reaching out to her, trying to get her to change her story and change what she says, basically, saying, hey, look, if you do this for me, I'm going to give you this, I'm going to do that. And in the end, she would have hurt herself if she would have done that. So, we can't, we don't know what happened, but we do know that he did take a plea and he was found guilty on it. He did his time for it, but that doesn't mean that you get to re-victimize the victim, period.
Facts on that.
And that's basically, what happened. If they did in fact contact her, tried to get her to change her story, tried to coerce her, that is a crime, because he's technically not supposed to have any communication with her or is not supposed to be sending anybody to try and communicate with her. And if she did, in fact, speak with Nicki and she has that documentation to prove that, there can be grounds for criminal actions against Kenneth Fetty, because he's not supposed to have any contact or communication with the victim.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you. Okay, I want to say shout out to y'all. Thank y'all so very much for y'all support, for calling in. This show was really, really lit. I want to give a special shout out to the producers.
Thank you for using Blog Talk
for
Radio.
showing love,
Goodbye.
for showing support. Thank you so very much. We're going to give a special shout out to all the moderators in the house. Thank you to our members. I really had to come and cover this because a lot of people are not really covering it. And it's a lot more I would say, but I'm going to pause, sit, wait, and come back because I may have to address a YouTuber that said something I didn't like. It shook me up a little bit. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Wiley Show. Follow me on Instagram at Wiley Show. If you want to donate to our Cash App, it's $Marquise Wiley 28. Okay. If this video get 300 likes, we will come back for a part 2 because I got to address somebody else. Okay. We got 233 likes. So if this video get 300 likes, we definitely will come back and do a part 2. Okay. And we're going to be addressing somebody. All right. Thank you all so very much. We'll be back with the next video. I'm Wiley. I'm your host. Thank you all so very much for this and surviving and just surviving the petties, as they say. We definitely will cover this. I will be on Pacer to cover this lawsuit. I will be following this lawsuit, just like I'm following all these other lawsuits. This lawsuit, I'm very interested in following this lawsuit. So we definitely going to see how this is going to turn out. Is it the end for Nicki? It remains to be seen. So I'm definitely going to keep my phones, my devices. I got everything on. See who's going to go live. What celebrity going to talk. Is she going to unfollow somebody? Is she going to delete some pictures? I'm watching that Instagram like a hawk. I'm refreshing her page all day to just see what she about to do. What's her next move? So thank you all so very much for that. Thank you so very much. Okay, I'm going to talk to y'all soon. Bye. Oh, wow. Okay.